And we should be live. Good evening, everyone. It is Sunday, September 3rd, just after 8 p.m. I'm here in my fabulous home. I don't think anyone would ever use that word to describe it, but I'm here in Midtown Toronto. I see some people in the chat already. Sheena Roberts, Michael K, Vivian Johnson, who was the birthday girl last week. Who's Ja, Cameron Richard, Jellybean, Fifi Connie, Harjot, Shivmalin, Wesley, Weirdo, Devin Sullivan, Naughty Brown, PGH, Marge is here, William is here. Welcome to what I think will be a lower key Sunday Night Stumbles edition. Yahia the Plane Spotter, Picard, Eva or Eva, Janelle York, Alejandra, Clayton Crawford, Keist Jung. Okay, we're all out of greetings. If you don't get your name called, please don't be offended, but thanks for tuning in. I was going to hold off on the adult beverage tonight or an edible, but I just went to the fridge to get a bubbly, and I saw 3 IPAs staring back at me. So we're going to have an IPA. This is a Lone Pine West Coast IPA. It's 6.5%. When you are a little bit hungover, there's nothing better than having a strong IPA, right? That's usually what the doctor orders. Anyways, cheers. And I hope you're all enjoying the Labor Day long weekend. So cheers, everyone. Yeah, that's not going down very well. We're going to have to force. It's just one of those things where my body's like, what the F are you doing? Are you kidding me? You're putting that shit back in the system? And the answer is, yeah, I am. Because I'm an idiot. But we have tomorrow off because it's Labor Day. So I'm thinking I might go out and live stream on the Strides channel. I also might make a video, but I'm probably going to do it on the scooter or the e-bike. I'm going to give my feet and legs a rest. I've been walking up a storm lately. As I see more people entering the chat. Good evening. Devin says, Labor Day weekend, you worked today, you worked tomorrow. Yeah. I tend to work all weekends as well. They're kind of the best time to get out in the city and see things. Speaking of which, usually when I go out, I bring a bubbly with me. So last night, I was getting ready to go out. I went to Koreatown for the night, and I heard like a boom. It sounded like a bomb went off in my apartment. And I realized yesterday I live streamed through like Chinatown, Kensington Market, but before I go out, I tend to throw a drink in the freezer, and then maybe an hour later when I leave the house, I take that drink out of the freezer and I put it in my backpack, and then I have something kind of cold to drink like midstream. And this happened. I went to my freezer after that bomb blew, and or what sounded like, and the top of this bubbly just blew clean off. Look at that. I have never seen this happen. I've had a number of cans explode in my freezer before, like Diet Pepsi cans, these cans, but usually they like here they just kind of come in through the side. This one came right off the top, so I thought that's kind of cool. Cool enough to show you. I don't know. Maybe it's not cool, but that happened. Fortunately, when it's Diet Pepsi, it's annoying because you got to like clean your freezer. This was just water. I haven't even bothered to clean it. It's like literally a whole bunch of ice shavings all over my freezer. No big whoop. I'll probably never get around to it, but I'll say I'll get around to it. Picard says now it's art. Sheena says never heard of that before. Hank Hill had a can of Coke explode in your car last summer from heat. That's crazy. Who would have thought these carbonated beverages can explode? But yeah, if you put them in your freezer to give them a quick cool, definitely set a timer and remind yourself to take them out. Sheena says, now, is your fridge now sticky? Well, it would be the freezer, and I don't really stick my bare paws in there feeling it around, so I have no idea. Maybe it's sticky. I don't know. Devin says, never buy any used fridge from me. That fridge would belong to my landlord anyways. Oops. So last week on Tuesday, I went to Niagara Falls. I had dinner with my mom and a few friends, and then I went to the Niagara Indoor Amusement Park. So I made a video from the hotel going into the indoor water park. Sorry, Niagara Indoor Water Park. So I've got that on deck. Next morning, woke up really early, went to IHOP for breakfast. Yes, I saw that article on BlogTO where someone complained about like the IHOP, a meal for two, costing over $100, and I guess I like being punished. I just wanted to go see how that was. So I went to the IHOP for breakfast. It wasn't as expensive as it was made out to be, but it was still like everything else in Niagara Falls, except for maybe the Flying Saucer restaurant, an enormous ripoff. So after I had my incredibly overpriced IHOP, I drove to New York State and I went to Darien Lake, Six Flags Darien Lake, and I spent the day there. So unfortunately, it was raining, but fortunately, it was raining because there was virtually like nobody there. All the big rides were operating. Some of the kiddie ones weren't, no big deal, but there was no wait. Like, I like to ride the very front row of every roller coaster, and I was able to do that. Like, literally just walk on, and like, there's like 3 other people like queuing with you. It's pretty awesome. So I made a video of that, and that's it. I only recorded one driving video. I didn't really feel like streaming from the car or doing a whole lot. But that driving video, I made a Patreon and members exclusive, and you guys should already see that if you are a member or you already have access to it. Cameron says, isn't Clifton Hill always overpriced compared to anywhere else, or at least that's what you noticed? Yeah, all of Niagara, and they have this like bullshit like made up tax, and the hotels are starting to charge like resort fees like Las Vegas. I saw a video. There's a channel called Bright Sun. I was seeing what Bevy was up to before the stream, and I haven't seen any new videos on her channel. And I was checking out Sapan. I've seen some of your new work. You're not in the chat, and some of the others. I was just looking for stuff to look up. Bright Sun Travels did an awesome video.
I grew up not far from Niagara Falls.
Called Staying in the Most Luxurious Hotel Suite in Niagara Falls. He stayed in the presidential suite of the Hilton, like the tallest tower in Niagara Falls with the best view of the falls. And he gave a rather scathing review of it. I just thought it was kind of good timing since this review went up 5 days ago. And 5 days ago, I was in Niagara Falls. Also, this possibly has the most expensive valet in the world at that hotel. And like the finishings of the room were really poor. He was treated poorly given he was in the presidential suite. I stayed at the Crown Royal and I had a falls view, and I forget the total cost. It worked out to, with everything, a little over $400 a night for the room. And it was not a great room. It was okay, but had a view of the falls, but it's not at all what you would think of when you think of Crown Plaza. Like, I don't think there is a good hotel room in Niagara Falls. MGM Reviews saying, Johnny, you use Windows 10. This is Windows 10. I have Windows 11 on my 2 laptops, but I use Windows 10. I have no reason to upgrade my desktop. Both of my desktops are on Windows 10, actually. No reason to upgrade. If it's not broke, don't fix it type thing. So yeah, I use Windows 10. But anyways, yeah, that was cool. I was like thinking, oh yeah, I signed up. I changed my data plan, so I'm no longer going to be with Bell. I'm going to be with a provider to be named later. And they had to do a credit check, and the guy on the phone was asking me for my driver's license number. So I pulled out my wallet and I pulled out my driver's license, and then he asked me for the expiry date, and I was like, 2015. So what I did was, I don't normally keep my driver's license in my wallet. I put an expired license in my wallet, went to Enterprise Rent-A-Car, and that is the license I showed them. And they rented me the car with an expired license. And then I drove all the way to Niagara Falls and then to New York. It probably just would have been like a ticket or like a warning if I was caught. Like, I am licensed. Like, it's not that big a deal, but I just thought it was kind of funny and a classic brain dead me moment that I had an expired license on me when I drove. But yeah, some videos from that trip coming up. You can kind of tell I'm a little bit I'm a little bit out of it right now, but I'm trying. Mike T says, my wife and I had a reservation at the Niagara Falls Marriott for June of 2020. Needless to say, we didn't get to use the room. Oh, yeah. Although Niagara Falls was like open for business and rocking during much of the pandemic. Clayton Crawford says, are you getting yourself updated? So today, what I did was I dragged myself to the beaches today. I went to Busker Fest. It was really awkward recording Busker Fest, and I think there's going to be a lot of copyright music violations in that video, so I might make that a members video. I don't know what to do with it. But then I recorded a walk through Queen Street East on the beaches and the Beaches Boardwalk, and I'm going to have that one edited up for tomorrow. So that's what I did today. Alfrediz, sorry, your name is tripping me up here. Hi, Johnny. Have you had a chance to visit the Illuminarium at the Distillery District in Toronto? It's a must-see. You heard it's only going to be there for this month. It looks amazing. I have not, but there is something to go check out. Thanks for the idea. I'll make a note of that. Jenny Kritzkamp says, evening all at Johnny Stumbles. FYI, it's my birthday in 4 hours. Remember, like, was it 3 years ago, Jenny Kritzkamp? I was streaming along, I want to say Bloor Street in Etobicoke, and I sang you happy birthday, and I think I have not sang happy birthday since. Devin says Busker Fest is a tough one. Gotta go with shortcuts. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really want to like show everything that was going on. I don't know. It's going to be a mess to try to edit. Shivlin says, did you go to Tamil Fest? No, I did not, unfortunately. I wanted to, but I was kind of out of it. Michael K says, a passport is required to enter the U.S. No, a passport or a Nexus card. Yeah, but really no big deal. Just hand it to the border agent. They literally just ask you where you're going, and then they hand you your passport back, and that was fine. Not a big deal. But coming back, I got hit with a $6 toll, which was weird. Keys to John said they visited Niagara Falls in October 2021. It looked like you were one of the first tourists returning to Niagara Falls. They were kind of like the rest of the province, getting yo-yoed, open and closed, but they were definitely way more open than that at different points during the pandemic. They were just, whatever that idiot Doug Ford said, if they were allowed to be open, they're opening to like their full capacity. There was videos of like Niagara Falls online of it being packed during the pandemic. Just trying to read some of your messages here. Jeremy Joseph says, hey everyone. Oh yeah, this morning I drafted my fantasy football team. Yay! I had the first round pick, 12-team PPR, and no, I did not take Justin Jefferson. I went with Christian McCaffrey. Roger Pham has a Nexus card, so hopefully I'll do better than my second place finish last year. But yeah, check out Bright Sun Travels. It's a really cool channel. Hopefully they're going to gain more than 63,000 subscribers. It's run by the guy who runs Bright Sun Films. He has brutally honest reviews, which I appreciate. He's just not like pimping places trying to get like free hookups on rooms. He does what I do. He likes to point out, although he does it much better. He likes to point out the good, the bad, everything, and kind of shows it the way it is. So that's a really good channel. Jacqueline S just got her license renewed. William asking, what is my favorite food and music? William, can I get back to you on that? I'm not really sure right now how to answer that. Interesting question, William. And someone in my fantasy league already making moves. Sir Bumpkins McChillingsworth added Deion Jackson and dropped Kendre Miller. People moving their stuff around. Wesley says, I'm going to take a driving course on September 16th since you're 16. Best of luck. I hope you learn to drive well. What else? Oh yeah, Jenny K says, Johnny Stumbles, have a drink for your birthday. This drink is for your birthday. Has anyone noticed something funny on Google Maps lately? This is what Google Maps normally looks like, right? And I use Google Maps when I put those maps at the beginning of my videos that pop up. But on my other account, This is what Google Maps looks like. Yuck. They are experimenting with this new style of map. So you may have seen this. My app does this too on my phone, where it looks like this puke. It looks like Apple Maps, which is a really stupid thing to copy. I don't know why they made it look like this. But yeah, you may have noticed your Google Maps changed. No, you didn't change any settings. Google is just kind of experimenting, and they're picking random people to do it with. And one of my accounts got picked. So this is what it is. Wesley says YouTube Music did the same thing. One thing I did notice is at least the streets are like gray in the new Google Maps theme. In the old theme, the streets are white, which is kind of weird. Streets are not white, but I mean, it works for the sake of just looking at it. So Yahia says it's the same thing on your phone. Naughty Brown says they did it to you. Tom Bike says, I wish I could make the street name fonts bigger in maps. You always have to like zoom in, right? And then sometimes when you zoom in, the street name like disappears and it moves somewhere else. It's always kind of annoying. Vivian Johnson says, Jenny, he did stream from Niagara just for you, and he said he ordered fireworks. I did, Vivian. That was just for your birthday. And you know what? That would have been a monster stream if it wasn't for Belle. We hit 16,000 views in a 20-minute stream. If I was able to just do a proper like hour and a half stream, that would be over 50,000 views. And yeah, Belle cost us all a pretty good stream on your birthday, Jenny. Or Vivian, sorry. So screw you, Belle. I have already moved on from you. I noticed Henry, our friend Henry over at Toronto Tech and Transit, he's there now? He is live streaming now, live at Niagara Falls.
He's got the phone out.
Ooh. Uh-oh, is he having connection issues? Henry, the signal is very choppy. Awesome view. Uh-oh. Henry seems to be having some issues. Maybe all the providers are kind of struggling at Niagara Falls. Oh, this is working fine. I think this is... Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
it's good, great job. I
he's
think it's a good
approaching
idea to
the
e-scooter
Horseshoe
here.
Falls from here.
Oh, fuck.
He's complaining about someone riding their e-scooter on the footpath there. As he should.
Let me see. I'm a little bit confused. I believe it would be west. About 15
Robert says
would know
too
better
many
about
people at
my
Niagara today. Signal bogged out. Something
about the,
is going
if it's the
on
west,
there.
I think it's
Because I used Bell, and I had a garbage horseshit signal. Ken had the same problem with Bell. Henry is there with Rogers having problems. Devin says, I think YouTube is having problems keeping up encoding tonight even. I'm going to talk to Henry about this and see what's going on. The app we use will tell us if the signal strength is getting weak. And that's what was happening to me in Niagara Falls. If this was YouTube having problems, he would still be showing a strong signal and just YouTube would be choking. But this to me looks like a poor signal. Shiblin says that stream is not live though. Yeah, I know. I'm replaying the one he did earlier today. He's got, this one is live, but you can see he's had a few here. This one is only 2 minutes.
score. RDR. I know you have my back, RDR. Appreciate it very much.
Brent says, hi Johnny, first time catching you during a live stream. Been a member
Dave
since August 1st.
Jeffrey.
Enjoy your humor and tour guiding. Thank you. This might not be the best example of a live stream to catch, but thank you for joining in. William says Kudu is a good cell company. They are under TELUS. Yeah, TELUS, Bell, Rogers, they're all very similar. But I'm going to be saving $60 a month with my new plan. Plus $20 because I just finally canceled Netflix. So I'm pretty stoked about it. I'm going what I'm doing is I'm getting a Rogers plan that's 150 gigabytes, and I'm getting 2 SIM cards. I'm getting one for my personal phone, and then I'm getting a data SIM card, which uses that same data. It's meant for a tablet plan, but I'm going to put it in my streaming phone. So I'm going to be able to replace my Freedom phone and my Bell phone with just one shared Rogers plan. And it all works out to like $60 a month savings, and I get way more data. I'm going to get like 150 gigabytes. Yeah, so that I was supposed to be able to go pick up yesterday, but it hasn't. Maybe it's a long weekend. I haven't been able to go pick it up yet. So I'm looking forward to that. Unfortunately, I'm pledging my allegiance to the evil empire, but welcome to Canada, where you don't really have much choice. Robert says, is it 5G? It is. It's a 5G premium plan, and it works in the subway, at least in the downtown core, and they'll be expanding that pretty soon. Naughty says, ladies, I know you'll be happy for... I have no idea what you're talking about. And my plan will work in the US and Mexico, too. Like, no roaming or anything. It's just going to work. Do you guys have AT&T, T-Mobile, or Verizon up there, Mike? No, we have Robulus, Rogers, Bell, Telus. And then there's Freedom, but Freedom was owned by Shaw. Then Rogers bought Shaw. Now Freedom is owned by some company in Quebec, I think. Janelle says, please give me the inside scoop on all these deals for when you land here. A good time to check that out is actually right now. There's a lot of back-to-school sales, back-to-school specials going on. And also Black Friday, there'll be a lot of good deals. Marge says, now you'll have to say thank you to the Ted Rogers statue at the Dome. Oh, God, I hope not. I hope not. Are there any new Toronto walkers out there making Toronto walking videos? Let's see. I just searched Toronto walk. Let's sort by upload date. Let's see what's out there. Night walk. I always like seeing all the people launching walking videos or walking channels in Toronto. Night walk in downtown Toronto, Yonge Dundas Square, CN Tower, Nathan Phillips Square, hashtag downtown. Wow, that is a mouthful of a title. That is too long, too many words. But it's a new channel, I'm guessing. It's got 1 view. I don't want to get hit with a music violation. Is this narrated or we? Oh, he's using a phone. You can see the floating orbs. And he's got 584 subscribers. Neat. Robert says, Alina McLeod streamed from Toronto today. Yeah, I know she's back in Toronto. I wasn't aware of her stream. Perhaps we'll bump into her and say hi at some point if I do see her wandering around with her camera. So there's a Toronto walking channel. What else do we have? I don't really care about shorts. Walk on University Avenue in Toronto. 4K walk and drive. Milton, Ontario. Drone footage of Milton. That's neat. Milton to Bronte Go in Canada. Aerial view of Acton. This one has 6,000 subscribers. Good work there. 4K drive and walk. Canada's largest city. This one, Zam, Ontario. Didn't Action Kid call... That looks like an Action Kid title. Oh, largest city in Canada. 896,000 views. Holy shit. That video is killing it. This one, 69,000 views. Canada's largest city. I think this person got some inspiration from Action Kid's title. Walk on Bay Street in Toronto. Okay, vertical video. Ugh. Downtown Toronto, best urban walk. Richmond West and Entertainment District, best urban walk. Jacqueline S says Dundas Street name change. I don't think there's been any updates on that. Unfortunately, I think the new mayor still wants to go through with that idiotic idea. 4K Toronto Wanderings, 4K HDR. This is only 6 hours ago, so I'm seeing a lot of channels I've never seen before. 4K Toronto Wanderings. They've got 2 videos, so this is a new channel. Oh, and they launched 2 videos 6 hours ago. No, don't do that. Don't launch them at the same time. You could realistically get away with 2 or 3 a day. YouTube's only going to give you 3 push notifications a day. And definitely don't stack them at the same time. William says, good night, everyone. Jennifer Gallus says, 4K World City Tours has lots of views on their Toronto videos. Yeah, I saw that one. I was talking to Action Kid about that channel. We were both like, where the heck did this channel come from? But here's a new one, 4K Toronto Walks. 4K World City Tours. Yeah, this one, walking the most beautiful city in Spain. Popular videos. They have some recent ones in Toronto, right? Was this the one? There was one of these ones we were looking at. I don't know if this is the one I was looking at, Jennifer, but I was looking at one of them that was just killing it. Oh, 4K World Wanderings. This is the one I was looking at. Look at this. They have... This one has 741,000 views. Walking Toronto's downtown financial district. Japan walking tour. Toronto walking tour. Best Yonge Street walking tour. Best Yonge Street walking tour? That's kind of bold. We're going with like a cinematic. Yeah, don't worry. I think we found it, Jennifer. I think that's the one you're... All right, we'll look at one more. Well, Bella Access. Summer walk downtown Toronto in 8K. 8K? Oh, I already checked this one out. Is this an 8K when I can only get up to 1080? When was this? 6 hours ago. YouTube probably hasn't finished processing the 4K, let alone the 8K yet. That's why, because this was only uploaded 6 hours ago. That is really annoying. I noticed this when I saw this one earlier. They wrote Bella Access and they just left it on the screen the whole time. Devin says, why not 16K, 120 frames per second FLAC? Yeah. 8K on YouTube is pointless. Like, it really is. Like, the 4K is okay, but a high bitrate 1080p is still better than any 4K streaming you will find anywhere. It just is. There's virtually no point in putting 8K on YouTube. But anyways, that's another argument. Jennifer says, you've come across a problem with YouTube. They take like 15 days to process HDR now. That's annoying. So what do? Do you release the video before the HDR is processed? Like, I always wait for 4K to be processed before I publish the video. And sometimes what I do, if a video is hung up and if it's just stuck on processing, I'll just re-upload the same video. And the re-upload will sometimes process quicker than the original. Sometimes it processes right away. Sometimes it takes like hours. I think that it's just a server lottery when you upload to YouTube. That's my theory. Like, you might end up on some shitty old server in one of YouTube's server farms that's like tasked with processing your video. And sometimes you get on something that's like fast and newer, I guess. I don't know. Maybe the HDR stuff has all been deprioritized so they can... I don't know. That sucks. 15 days. That's a long time. Hey, a Johnny Strides video finally shows up. Saturday night on Yonge Street, downtown Toronto walk. I was hoping to go out on Friday night and do a walking video, but didn't get around to it. Harjot said, yesterday I did a flowers video in my front yard. Harjot. Can we check that out, Harjot? Harjot flowers? Growing flowers in my front yard. 47 views. That one was 3 weeks ago. Flowers in my front yard 1 day ago. Harjot. Nice. What? Someone leaving a snappy reply on one of my comments. Hey, the chat is quiet. I feel like poking it. Are you guys there? Am I putting you all to sleep? We're only at 126 viewers. Yeah, I figured. I was thinking maybe we'll stream tomorrow night instead, but I kind of want to just give myself the night off tomorrow. So we're going ahead and doing tonight. Just reading some of your chats. So what is going on in Toronto tonight? Novell Cost says, no, we're still admiring the flowers. You're awestruck. Jennifer Gallus says, we're here. What is going on? We've got BlogTO Canada beats Spain at FIBA Basketball World Cup. So we advance in the World Cup and we qualify for the Olympics, which is awesome. 21 photos from the air show. Yes, the air show was going on this week. Cameron Richards says, all right, when's the next Canadian city trip? Canadian city, good question. I think that's going to depend on getting an email from YYZ Deals telling me where a nice cheap place to go is. I kind of spent a lot of my budget on traveling on some trips to Europe and Asia already this year, and I want to do another big overseas one. So really, if I'm going to go somewhere in Canada, it's just got to work. I need a cheap flight, and it's got to be a place I want to go to. And we're going into winter, not the best time to be doing that. So probably somewhere around Ontario for the rest of the year. And hopefully next year, I want to go to Montreal again, but I've gone to Montreal twice recently. But yeah, we had the air show going on this weekend. I did not record it because I do not really have the camera equipment to do it any justice. Like, you would have got nothing like this from me. What are your thoughts comparing Montreal to Toronto? Apples and oranges. As a whole, I like Toronto more, but I think Montreal is an awesome city. I think it's more pedestrian friendly. I think it has a better cycling network. I think it does a whole lot of things better than Toronto. Yet, I still like Toronto. Go figure. These are some amazing photos. Look at that. Those the Blue Angels. Photos from around New York says Montreal has a new transit system. They have the REM, I think. Go to RM Transit if you're curious about that. The Snowbirds. What kind of crazy camera do you need or lens to record that? Naval Costas Canada is world renowned for its winter. You're lucky to be able to experience it in person. Marge says Lynx will have super domestic deals soon. Probably where you have to pay to like bring carry-on luggage. This 24-hour restaurant is a Toronto staple that serves up big breakfasts. Is that newsworthy? Markham Station has been a fixture of the Malvern neighborhood. That's out in Scarborough. Yeah, the REM, maybe. Maybe. I was hoping to do a Scarborough RT video this year, but the RT just up and closed itself out of nowhere. This is the most Toronto headline ever. Someone in Toronto is renting an apartment with a toilet in the kitchen. What? If you don't want to share a bedroom or an actual bed with a stranger but are still on a rental budget, you may have a hard time finding a place in Toronto where the average price of a one-bedroom unit is now $2,600. How does that not make your stomach churn? And even a room in a shared flat will run you around $1,300 a month. There's a new ad that not only doesn't have a proper kitchen, but includes a toilet and bathroom sink in its quote-unquote kitchen space. Isn't that like a... So you're going to make food in the same place you do number two? That is gross. The one-bedroom apartment near Bloor and Ossington has lots of natural light, a stunning private outdoor deck space, full of potential, and a lovely large bedroom with multiple skylights. Unfortunately, everything good about the home ends there. Beyond the bedroom and outdoor space is what looks to be a very ridiculous excuse for a kitchen/bathroom, a large central room that has a door to the deck. All right, show us the... I guess this is it up here. That's gross. We are out of control. Johnny, you should rent out your hammock. You know what, Jellybean? I spent some time in that hammock today. When I got back from the beaches, I lied on my hammock for like 2 hours while the Blue Jay game was on in the background. It was kind of nice. Maybe I should Airbnb my hammock out. But yeah, that is gross. Patrick Simeon is here. Patrick, I met you the other week on Danforth recording a live stream. Tiff is throwing a massive street festival in Toronto with a free Nickelback concert. Okay. Drake just went on a shopping spree at a vintage clothing store. How is that news? Man goes shopping. Why is that a headline? This man is the worst umpire in the history of baseball, and he blew 21 calls during a Blue Jay game. He wanted to like umpire the playoffs last year or 2 years ago and do the World Series and was denied by Major League Baseball. So he sued them for being racist as the reason why he wasn't allowed to umpire those playoff games, when the reality is he is a terrible umpire protected by a union, and that frivolous lawsuit was thrown out. But it's just amazing how this union keeps these awful, awful umpires behind the plate. This was so frustrating watching this game. Anyways, Mike T says baseball fans aren't dumbfounded. We all know about them. If you're a purist and if you want the human element behind the plate, calling balls and strikes, then we need a system that only has the most accurate and consistent umpires calling games behind the plate. And then we need one that promotes the good minor league umpires and demotes the bad ones or just fires them, right? Like, wouldn't that make sense? Wouldn't you want like the few really good umpires always calling the games behind home plate? But the union does not allow for that. So we're going to end up with robot umpires. Hopefully next year, hopefully these guys will stop deciding the outcomes of games because, you know, the strike zone should be black and white. Photos from around New York says John Boy Media has a recent video about an excellent video about calling balls and strikes. John Boy, that's an excellent channel. I'm going to have to check that video out. But anyways, yeah. Him, Laz Diaz is another one. If you know an umpire's name, that means they're bad, right? What's open and closed on Labor Day 2023? Most things are closed. Keys to John says, do you watch Formula One? No, I don't, sadly. Toronto's new multi-level bar is also an unreal Mexican restaurant? What is this? Silent H? Silent H is redefining Mexican cuisine in Toronto from the same team behind Regular's Bar that closed in 2022 for a new subway station on King Street. The spot takes an elevated approach to... All right, that looks cool, but it's probably way too expensive, therefore not my cup of tea. 50 essential lunch restaurants in Toronto. Are we all out of good stuff? I think we are. All right, Devin, have a good night. Thanks for stopping in. What do we have here? Car-free streets in downtown Montreal took political guts. Yes, Toronto could definitely learn some lessons from them. All right, well, we're just going to skip the Reddit thing. I'm going to do a quiz. How's that? Or one of these tests. This is, I was maybe going to play City Guesser. Oops, but why did that end up over here? Come on, Windows, snap it. And the stream is at 128 viewers. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Don't forget, since you're here, just hit the like button. subscribe. Go subscribe to Johnny Strides. I know it's a bit of a lower key stream than usual. I am a little bit out of it. I apologize for that, but hey, it goes with the territory of being me. All right, so this is the etiquette test. We're going to do 10 questions for this. Maybe this will wake me up. If not, I've got laundry to do. You find out that a friend is dating someone from your past. You dated him or her before meeting your friend. He or she wants to compare notes on this person's sexual habits. Do you spill the details? Did I already do this? Yeah, I'll do that. Sure. Your friend has invited you to dinner. When you call to ask if you can bring something, dessert, drinks, she says no. Do you bring something anyways? Yeah, we already did this one. I don't know. I don't know, guys. Here's where I stand. I am out in outer space tonight. Maybe I should have done this next week. But Jenny K, I want to say happy birthday. We're going to sign off and end the stream on an early note. But I will be back next week. We will have a lot more fun than this. Novelka says you've done every online test. I haven't done all of them. I thought I found one that I hadn't done. But I think we're gonna call it quits tonight. Some nights, yeah, I had a very, very long night last night with a lot of drinking, and I came home and for some reason I watched 90 Day Fiancé till like 4 a.m. My Fitbit was like, "You slept for 2.5 hours. What are you doing?" Then I had to do my fantasy football draft this morning. Then since I was up, I was so tired this morning. I didn't even want to make my smoothie. I ordered Starbucks delivery. Yeah, that's what I was up to this morning. I had coffee and a bagel delivered from Starbucks, or one of their, I had their sausage and egg sandwich, not a bagel. Yeah, that's what kind of day it was today. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I want to thank our mods. I apologize for the abruptness of the stream. Rock says, how did the draft go? I went CMC number 1. I am rocking Najee Harris, and I'm pretty strong at running back. I've got Josh Allen at quarterback. I've got Hawkinson at tight end, San Fran at defense. I've got Butker as my kicker. Notice how I'm not talking about my receivers because it's Tyler Lockett is my wire one. Could have done a little better there, but I'm stacked at running back. But anyways, guys, good luck on your draft. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back hopefully next Sunday, hopefully with something a little more lively. I still need to upload that 6.5 hour train ride from Paris to Barcelona to the channel. But anyways, thanks, guys. Have a good night. And yeah, I'm going to get tomorrow's video ready, do some laundry, and go to sleep. I'm going to go to sleep nice and early. Yoink.